Hi, welcome to the latest video. So today I will be talking you through 5 easy to play rock riffs for beginners. You'll probably be able to guess what one of them is already. So just before we begin, I'll go through, so these are slightly simplified versions just of the originals, just to make it easier for somebody who's been playing it for months or even a few weeks to be able to pick up and play. These are things that are going to be recognisable to you, your friends and family, things like that. So something that's great to get going with that you can actually relate to rather than exercises from a book or online. Just to make one thing clear, I am in standard tuning, so that means from the bottom string up it's E, B, G, D, A, E. Most beginners and everybody's going to start off with guitars in standard tuning. Some of the originals for these riffs might be in slightly different tunings. They might be tuned down half a step or a whole step, so if you play along with the originals it might not sound exactly the same. That doesn't mean you're playing it wrong, it just means your guitar is in a different tuning. And that's it, so let's have a look at the first one. Right, so it's a nice and easy one to start off with. 20th Century Boy by T-Rex. It is based around one chord and 2 notes that you play, and that's it. So as you heard there, the intro is slightly lengthened and then you come into the main riff, which just repeats itself, and it is all based around an E power chord. So with my first finger I am holding down the 2nd fret on the 4th and the 5th string, so you're counting up. So you're missing the top string, so that's the E string, and then you're holding down the next 2 notes, so I'm just using the flat of my finger to bar that. The rest of my finger is actually lightly resting on the strings underneath, and that mutes it, so when you're playing, you don't get these overtones coming through. And the right hand is just going down, up, down. So going, and then coming to the riff, so I'm using my middle finger, so I'm leaving my first finger resting on those strings, keeps it in place, it's ready for when it goes again, and it's going to be the open E string, and then I'm going to use my middle finger to pull on the 3rd string on the top, so that's the G note, so we're going, on the last one I'm just pulling my finger down a little bit, so the whole thing. And that's it. It's fairly straightforward. Leave your first finger there, hold it down. When you're not playing that note you can just lift up a little bit and that will mute it for you. And then the main thing is just getting that timing, so as you're doing the, get that phrasing right, just holding the odd note here and there. It's fairly straightforward, so best of luck. Whole Lot of Love by Led Zeppelin. Again, based around an E power chord. This time we're playing it up here, so start on the 5th string on the 7th fret. And your finger, so your 3rd finger would then come 1 string down and 2 frets over onto the 9th fret. And then you can play the note underneath your little finger as well, which is the E, to double the octave. That's the chord that it's based around. The actual riff before it is really straightforward, so I'm using my 3rd and my 1st fingers to do this. My 3rd finger is on the top string, and I'm going to slide from the 7th fret, from the 5th fret to the 7th fret, and then I'm going to alternate that note with the 5th fret on the 5th string, and I'm going to do that with my 1st finger. So I've got sliding up, between each note, I'm lifting off, again just to mute that note, the original note that I'm playing. I'm exaggerating it a little bit there so you can see. And then when I'm the right hand with the chord, it's down, up, down, up. What I'm doing there is holding down for the first note, lifting off, and then I'm letting my plectrum just clip the E string, and that gives that drone note in the background. That's the pattern, so you've got one, two, three. Simple as that. Sunshine of Your Love by Cream. Again, a really straightforward riff, really iconic. Playing it around the 10th fret. So we're starting off on the top string, and it's just, you can do full 7th chords just to fill out the sound, but for beginners I'd say just focus on using power chords. So that's the top 2 strings to begin with. So first finger on the 10th fret, and then your third finger is going to be down a string and across 2 frets to the 12th fret. And you're going to do 2 hits on that, on those 2 strings. Move it down 2 frets to the 8th fret, and then back up. So that's your initial bit of the riff. And then you're going to do a little walk down. This is in the blues scale. So you're going from where your finger is on the 12th fret, and you're going to go each fret down. That's your beginning. And to finish the riff off, you can slide your hand down, but you're going to play the 10th fret again, this time with your third finger. And then you're going to play the 8th fret on the 5th string, and back to that 10th fret on the top string with the D just to finish. So that's the first part of the riff. You do that 4 times, and then you just shift everything down a string. So you're doing everything off the 5th string. So you're doing that twice. So we've got 4 on the top, 2 on the 5th string. You go back to do 2 more from the top. There's a slight difference at the ending which you can hear. So first time around, same again. Time you're going to go. So that last little riff, it's the same riff, but you're doing it from the 12th fret on the 4th string. And that takes you into the chorus, which is just A, C and G. That's it, have a go at that. And should we crack it really quickly? My Generation by The Who, incredibly simple riff. As you heard the intro, double the length, but ultimately you're using 2 notes and going between the 2. And that is the G on the top string, so that's your 3rd fret, and then down to the F on the 1st fret, and it's literally counting 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You just hold it, that'll be where they're singing. It's call and response style riff, so Pete Townsend plays the riff, and then when he stops, Roger Daltrey sings, and you go between the 2. Doing it live, you can fatten it out, you can do power chords, you can do the octave, which is where instead of doing the fifth, which is one note down, one string down, sorry, you go 2 strings down and you play those 2 notes. And I've seen a live version, I think it was in Hyde Park, about 15 years ago, where he holds the bottom strings for the G and he uses his thumb. You can add what you want to it, but the main thing is just getting that simple riff. It's as easy as that. Alright, so for the final riff, it's always going to be there. The riff is based on the middle 2 strings, around the open, the 3rd and the 5th fret, and it is of course, no, it's not that one at all. It's another one based around those notes. It's not Smoke on the Water, it is instead this. So originally played with a slide, but I'll show you how to play it without a slide in case you don't have one, because a lot of beginners don't. And it's Bad to the Bone by George Thorogood. So sometimes on the intro and then sometimes during the song, it'll have a double hit to begin with, and it is just those middle 2 strings. You can use your fingers to pick, or you can use your plectrum, whatever you feel like doing. So on the intro, I'll show you how to do that, and then I'll show you just how to drop the one or the note further on. So you're doing 2 hits on those 2 middle strings, and then you're holding the 2 notes on the 5th fret down, so I'm using my 3rd finger. And then it's open, 3rd fret, open. And then as it gets into the song, you don't do 2 hits at the beginning, you do 1. And that is it. So there's lots of fills and extra things and notes around the outside of it, but the 90% of the song is that riff repeated, and that is the crux of a lot of these things when you're beginning. Is all these songs, these great recognisable songs, they can be easy to play, they're not complicated, they've just got one riff or 1 or 2 variations on a riff for the entire song. So have a go at them. See what you can play, and suddenly you're playing full songs instead of just sitting there doing little exercises and scales. Any questions, feel free to ask. If you've enjoyed the video, like it. If you like what you see and you want more, subscribe to it. Try and release videos as much as I can. And then if you hit the bell, you'll be notified of any new videos as well. So there's 3 levels, so you can like it and you can subscribe without being bombarded by things. But obviously if you want all the up-to-date stuff, like, subscribe and set up the notifications. Happy playing!